Hello, I'm Thomas, and this is actually my first YouTube video. I just thought I'd make a short film to show you some of the new tools that I've bought for my toolkit. I'm an apprentice carpenter, and I just thought I'd show you some of the new Makita models that I bought to start off my collection. This is the new impact driver. This is the DTD129. This is the Z model, as I bought it as a body only, and I then went and bought a 4 amp lithium ion battery to go with it. This one has 160 Newton meters of torque, so it's a nice powerful motor. It's a brushless motor as well, so it's extra efficient in the sense that it doesn't have the copper brushes inside. So you've got reduced heat, reduced friction, therefore you get more power going into the actual screwing mechanism itself. I've also gone and bought one of these new Weira screwdriver bit adapters as well, so I tend to find that quite useful for doing more detailed work, second fixing and things like that. You've got a keyless chuck here, and you can just attach a bit adapter just like that. There's a 1/4 inch shank on that, which is pretty standard to be honest. You've got the variable speed trigger as well, so I'll just show you how that works now. You can press it down just a short way and you'll see the LED light comes on, so that can be quite useful as well. It actually goes off straight away on this model, whereas on some of the older ones it will stay on for a few seconds, and I guess that's just been done for extra energy efficiency. So if I now press this down, it should start at a slow speed, and as it builds up you should hear the hammer action starting to kick in. And that stops an electric brake. The 4 amp battery combined with a brushless motor should make it ultra efficient. I've had this for 2 weeks and I've used it a few times. Overall I've already got well over a day's work out of it. You've got your belt clip here as well. That can be fitted either to the left or the right side. You've got screw holes on either side, so you can adapt that. The battery just unclips like so with this push button here, and if you look at the terminal you'll see it's a yellow terminal with a star symbol on it, and you've got this extra prong here. So these are the new terminals Makita are now using for their 4 amp batteries, although it will still work with a 3 amp battery as well. Coincidentally, I noticed a lot of the new Makita models, the model number actually starts with a D as opposed to a B on some of the older versions, and that does indicate that the battery terminal has been adapted for use with the new 4 amp battery models. So it's a very good machine from what I can make out so far. It seems to have that little bit more power than some of the other models I've seen on site, and it feels really well built. You've got the metal casing at the front, it's rubber towards the back, but then they all tend to be very much like that. It's a very comfortable grip as well, and it's very light. I think the net weight for this machine without the battery is 1.5 kilograms, which isn't too bad. So you should be able to use it at height or for long periods of time, no problem really. Overall the motor is supposed to have 220 watts of power, and it should spin at 2,500 revs per minute. So all in all it should be pretty pokey compared to a lot of models out there. So I'd say this is one of the best models on the market. So that's mostly all I have to say about that. The other model I'd like to show you is my new cordless circular saw. I purchased this yesterday actually, so it's never had any use. This particular model is called the DSS610. It is actually the same model as the DSS610, but very much like my impact driver, both the model number and the battery terminal has been adapted to take the new 4 amp battery, and you've got the star symbol again here to indicate that. It feels a very solid, well built model, but it's not too heavy, that's the main thing. Nice smooth base plate, that's adjustable for depth here. You can adjust up to 57mm to the deepest cut, and you can just lock it off with a lever at the back here. It also adjusts for the bevel cut on the front here. You've got a dial where you can set it, going from 90, you've got the 90 degrees, now you've got 15, 22.5 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees and maximum of 50 degrees. So if I just adjust that now, you can see you've got a small line marking on this metal, this black metal section at the back here, and that will line up with the markings on the front there. And you can just lock that off. You've also got an adjustable fence here that can be totally removed if you don't need to use it all the time. LED light, which is positioned just underneath here, which can be quite handy if you're working in dark areas. You have your blade guard. This is actually made out of plastic on this model. On some of the older ones it's made out of metal, which, to be honest, I'm not that impressed about it being plastic. I don't think it will have quite the same lifespan. But on the upside they've also included measurements on here that you can set the machine to when you drop down or raise up the base plate. So you can see the markings there, or you can simply just use a tape measure to set up the saw. You can see it does seem very well built model, and it is one of the most commonly used models on the site, so I certainly trust it for reliability. You've got a fairly decent motor on this one. This one spins at, I think it's 3700 RPM, so it should cut through sheet material and various other timbers, no problem at all really. I think the weight on this machine is meant to be 3.2 kilograms, so it's not too bad to carry about all day. And as I say, with these new 4 amp batteries, you should get a good lifespan out of this. Although it's using a large motor, it's not brushless, but the 4 amp battery should give you a good running time out of it, especially since they now they charge in 36 minutes. So it's still very efficient. You could charge it on a lunch break and then come back and carry on using it. So that's these are my 2 new products. I hope this review has been reasonably helpful, and I'll be happy to answer any comments that you post. So thank you, over and out.